Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. Thank you so much for joining me today. I'm happy to have you all back here. It's been a hot minute, but I did promise I would do a video comparison of some Game Boy Advance games, especially the Pokemon ones. And also I'm going to include in this video a N64 comparison of how to tell a authentic N64 game as well. These days, you all know from my previous video where I had a GBA Legend of Zelda the Minish Cap. I went kind of in detail on that one to show you guys the differences on how to look for it. But these ones are far more desirable, obviously, the Pokemon games on Game Boy Advance specifically. And there are some things on it that you would probably, if you didn't know what you're looking for, you'd think you would have the real game. So this is where I'm going to demonstrate to you guys how to tell the difference between the two, especially when you're purchasing online. Because, I mean, these games, let's just be honest, the Pokemon Fire Red, Emerald Green, and all those other ones on GBA, they're not cheap at all. They're very expensive games just for the cartridge by itself. So you definitely want to know if you're getting your money's worth. The popularity of these games have skyrocketed. They've always been popular, obviously, since they came out back in the day when good old Game Boy Advance came out when I was in high school. This is my original one I still have. Love this thing. The games have become far more desirable because people back in the day when they used to play it are now older now, and they're like reminiscing. They like want to go back and play the old games they used to play. So the demand has gone up for these games, and they're really honestly not a whole heck of a lot of them out there probably. I would venture to guess. So that's why it's a little bit more expensive. So with that being said, let's go deeper into this. So obviously you can see this is Pokemon Fire Red version. This is one of the more desirable ones, obviously, because you got Charizard. This is the whole purpose of this game, is the Charizard Pokemon that's in this game. So this one here, as you can see, it's the authentic. This is the authentic one. I'll go deeper into detail on the two, but like just check out the prices of how much this is going for on the market right now. There you go. As you can see, not cheap. It's quite expensive. It is definitely an expensive game to have. So when you're buying it online, you definitely want to verify that you're buying the real copy, because you're paying a lot of money. There's a lot of reproductions out there, and if someone is not telling you this is a reproduction and they're selling it to you at the full price, how are you going to know until you actually get it in your hands? And then you hopefully use this video to compare and know if you got a good deal or you got the bum deal. Okay, so let's go into this. Alright, first up, I'm going to set this over here. We'll tackle the N64 version later. So here we have two copies. I'm just going to tell you right off the bat, this one is the authentic one, and this one's the reproduction. Now, obviously, this came in a case. I bought this, believe it or not, I bought this on Temu. A lot of people know what Temu is. They had this on there, and they gave it to me for free as a free gift because I bought so much, whatever. But as you can see on the back, they have a little barcode here, probably for their inventory purposes. But it says right here, US version Fire Red, made in China. I mean, that right there is a dead giveaway, right? But it's funny because it contradicts itself, because if you look on the back here, made in Japan. They went so far to recreate this thing almost identical to the authentic that they put the sticker on there the same way. Even the labeling on the front, it's a little embossed compared to the original. The Game Boy Advance part, you see how it sticks up more on the left one here compared to the right one. It doesn't stick up as much. But like, those are, like, if you looked at this side by side, I mean, honestly, would you be able to tell the difference? You can see the cartridge color's a little bit more orange on this one compared to this one's more see-through red. But to the untrained eye, if you're not knowing what you're looking for, you'd be like, okay, this looks real, you know? If you do notice here, with the reproduction on the top, the Pokemon logo looks a little bit bigger to me. Just pops more, and it's like, the font's a little bit bigger. Even the Fire Red version's a little bigger. And then on the original, obviously we all know this because I've shown you all this trick. I'll turn on my flashlight here. Okay, so see there's the embossed 11 right there. That's one of the key giveaways. If you remember from my previous video with Minish Cap, you're looking for that embossed logo on the actual foil or the cover of the game. A lot of manufacturers that reproduce these games, they won't go to that extent to add that. That's a first giveaway. So if we look at this reproduction one, there's no embossed lettering or numbering at all, as you can see. Clearly not there. Okay, let's go to the back. Let's go to the original one first. Okay, so he says model number AGB-002, patent pending, made in Japan. Model number AGB-002, patent pending, made in Japan. So for this one, you can feel it's bumpy. It's like they just molded it. And this one right here is smooth. It's like a very small imprint. The screws look the same. Okay. Alright, so now let's go to the next differences of what we're looking for. Turn off the flashlight. I think I turned it off in a second. There we go. Okay, so other differences we're looking for. Obviously, this is the real one, so let's take a closer look here. The Pokemon Company, okay, that's all the same. We know that with this one too, it's the same. They pretty much copied the sticker. It's almost identical. You can see the gold on the original is very, on the Nintendo logo is very gold looking, and this one's very like light bronze maybe, and not quite gold. Okay, that's another giveaway. But let's look at the obvious one. The first thing you should always look for is on the front, the color of the cartridge is a definite giveaway. The color. And then let's flip it over. There's two things you're looking for here. Obviously, the color of the cartridge, and can you see through here on the see-through cartridge, you can see right here that there's a gold imprint of 4 squares. Now that's actually gold, because the old manufacturing process, they actually use gold for continuity, and that right there is one of the chipsets that has gold on it. If you look on the reproduction version, nothing, no gold, nothing there. It actually has a bunch of these pins that are soldered on the back. This one, the original, doesn't. So that's a dead giveaway. So if you're going to buy a Pokemon Fire Red in person, the first thing you should do is flip this thing around and see that right there. If you don't see that and you see this, it's fake. Or it's a reproduction. Okay? That's a dead giveaway. Now online, a lot of the places, eBay and stuff like that, they're not going to show you the back. They're just going to show you the front. Here's the advertisement. Here's the game. But they're not going to show you the back. That's what you need to see, though. If you can ask for more pictures, I would do that. Okay, now let's dig into the insides of this thing. Now this is going to be fun. I'm going to tilt this down further so y'all can see better. And they're going to be floating in the clouds with Mario, Super Mario. I'll turn off this flashlight for a minute. Okay, so I'm going to do a little jump cut here. So I'm going to take these off. Starting with the reproduction first. Alright, bear with me a second. Okay. Alright, so now that we got these off here, this is the real one. What I'm going to do is I'm going to set these like this. So here we have, this is the original, and this is the reproduction. I can already tell right off the bat. In the original, see the pins? They're gold plated. This, I don't know, probably aluminum, maybe brass, or some kind of a cheaper metal for manufacturing. Okay, let's go into the original first. Let's dig into this guy first. We'll take the chip off. Okay. Alright, so here's our original chip. This is the Pokemon Fire Red original. You can see right here, it says MX, It just has like the chip number. So there's a website you can go on and you can actually verify these numbers to verify this is real, but I can tell you off the bat it is. and then it has the MX on this side too. This one says 2001 Nintendo AGB-02-20. Okay, now let's flip it over and we'll see that gold plate. There it is. The gold plating there. That's the one. If I remember right, it's the one. These are obviously circuit pieces, but I'm not going to go too in detail on it. But you're looking for the gold plate, and that's on there for sure. All right. So I want to set that back in there. Now let's take out our reproduction copy that we got from Temu. Oh, you can already tell it's a lot lighter. Definitely has like no weight to it compared to the other one, because gold is heavy, right? So it's a little heavy. Yeah, you can totally feel the difference. Anyway, gold is a lot heavier. So okay, so let's see here. This guy here says has like some kind of a band or heat sink thing on there. I can't even make out what this even says. It's like something blah blah blah. It's just a generic chip that they manufactured. And this guy right here, ISSI, not the original MX that we saw before, right? Well, let's look at the bottom. 2002 Nintendo AGB E0502. This one says AGB E02-20. So definitely like just kind of muffed up the numbers, the model on this board, because they know that they're not original. But they didn't, in this one you notice, remember our Nintendo one that we had from the Minish Cap? Well, they actually spelt out Nintendo on this one. They went as far as just putting Nintendo on there. 2002. Wrong date, but... And then you can see on here there's no gold circuitry, and it has all these interesting like soldered pieces on there, like little circuit pieces. But yeah, so you can definitely tell. And always the dead giveaway is that nasty blob of whatever this is. It's like a conduit of some kind. Could be how it saves, I don't know. But there's always a blob on the fakes. On the original, no blob. So you can see the definite difference there. So go ahead and put this back in there. I'm going to button this back up. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and jump cut for y'all. Thanks. Okay, we're back. Sorry about that. Alright, so we're back here. So that wraps up pretty much the Pokemon Fire Red comparison of the reproduction versus the original. So make sure you pay close attention to these key details when you're out and about and you come across one heck of a deal of one of these games. Chances are the heck of a deal is going to be probably the fake. But if you're going to be paying the more premium price, obviously for an authentic, because if you're a collector like me, you want to have the authentic versions, right? You want to be able to, you know, say it's, you know, an original, so that way when you have it years down the road, you'd be like, this is an original copy versus all these crappy reproductions. Now, the next question we have, do they work? Well, obviously the original should work, right? That would be pretty sad if it didn't. But we'll boot up the original first. So we'll turn on the original first using my modified Game Boy Advance SP. By the way, if you have not picked up one of these and you are a fan of Game Boy or Game Boy Advance at all, I highly recommend one of these things. I have the original AG102, which does have the brighter screen, but this thing just trumps it in every direction compared to the original. Alright, so let's go ahead and boot this up. Slide that in there. See if I can pull this up just a little bit for y'all so you can see better. Alright, power it on. Let me turn off that flashlight. There we go, that's better. Oh, let me see if I seated in there right. Sometimes with cartridge games you gotta be a little finicky with it, but it'll boot up. Why aren't you turning on? Hold on. Believe it or not, a little blow of the dust trick always works. Just give it a little blow. It's all that dust that sits on the pins. Look at that screen quality. That thing's so nice. I love the colors on this thing. That's such an impressive job. And here's the iconic music. Hello. Look at that. Cool. This is the original copy. This is definitely working. Anyway, so there you go. That's the original. Now let's check out the reproduction and see if it takes a little longer to boot up. Or if it even runs the first time. Let's find out. Yeah, it booted up pretty quick, honestly. I mean, it works. There you go, there's the beginning where it teaches you how to play. So that's cool. So like, key takeaway obviously from this, like I explained to you all about the Zelda Minish Cap version. So if you have a need to play this game and you don't feel like spending a lot of money, buying a reproduction maybe from Temu is not a bad idea just to play the game. If you're a collector, however, and you have to have the original because it will hold its value, I promise you that. It'll just continue to go up and up and up over time. But if you want the premium version, definitely get the original. It still obviously plays perfectly to this day. But you have two choices, but just remember, so you don't get swindled into paying premium for this one on accident. That would be a very sad day. So yes, there you go. That's Pokemon Fire Red on the GBA, and that's how we determine the reproduction from a real copy. And so that these all work with all the GBA games of Pokemon, Emerald, Leaf Green. I can't remember the other ones off the top of my head. I just can't think off what exactly all of them are because there's so many. But anyways, the other ones are the same rules that apply. You look at the back, look for the gold stamp on there, and then, you know, of course, the number, and then the color of the cartridge is usually the giveaway. So pay close attention to that stuff when you go to purchase your game. All right, moving forward, we're 20 minutes in, but who cares? It's a long video, and I love video games, so let's make it a fun video. All right, now we're moving on to GoldenEye 007 on the N64. So I'm gonna show you the comparison of a reproduction versus a actual real copy. Could I be fooling you right now? Probably, maybe, I don't know. Maybe I'm holding the real copy right here and I put the reproduction in here just to trick you all. Because you're like, why would he put a reproduction inside of a box? Well, who knows? This is for you to find out in this comparison video. So let's get into it. Alright, so let me move some stuff aside so make some room for us all here. And I'm going to turn on the light so you can see a little bit better. Get some more lighting on there for you. Okay, first up, we're going to open the box. Obviously, I keep all of my N64 games in that I have that are original copies of the boxed versions. I keep them all in these fantastic, if you haven't purchased one of these, I highly recommend getting this acrylic plastic storage container because one, it makes it look really clean and nice, and two, it keeps it away from the elements and dust and dirt, all that fun stuff. So I highly recommend getting a pack of those. I got those on Amazon for like $10 for like 10 of these in a pack. So they make them for every console, so check them out. I'm gonna open this guy up. This is my original GoldenEye I purchased when I was in high school. I've had this ever since. Has the original box and everything. All the inserts and all that good stuff. Look at that. All the original artwork, inserts, instruction manual. This is so cool. And then I have the game in here, which I wrap all of my games in plastic to keep them sealed in case you know, the dust and stuff like that. But when I want to play it, just open it, reseal it, put it back in when I'm done playing. Easy process. Alright, so let me take this out of the plastic. Alright, so this one just came out of a plastic, or out of my box. Now, was I fooling you guys? Probably not. But it's worth a shot, right? Alright, so first up, you can see right here. This is the original, and this is the reproduction. The first thing you'll obviously notice is that Pierce Brosnan 007 has gotten a serious tan in this version. It's like he went on a trip on a cruise in the Bahamas and just came back and was like, alright, let's go kill some people. Versus this one, he's like, I haven't been out in the sun yet. But yeah, you can clearly tell that the color on this one here, the reproduction, is very dark. They made the colors a lot deeper, which probably means that they used a lower quality print technology to make this label. A cheaper version versus the original has the original colors on it. So that's first dead giveaway, obviously. The next one, we're going to flip it over and see if you can tell the difference. It's pretty obvious right off the bat. This one has a very dark gray look to it, and this is the original light gray Nintendo type of sticker. This one you can definitely see the sticker's a lot thicker if you look at the sides of it. It's a much thicker sticker, like it was just laid on there, maybe by a person possibly after production. And then this one is definitely a machine sticker where they laid it in there, and it's not as thick. It's very, very soft and smooth. There's no bumps in it. The next obvious thing that we're looking for here is we're going to look for the stamp. Like I mentioned to you with the GBA games, the NES games, N64 has it as well, the stamp on the back. So on the very back of this, we're looking for a number. We're going to pan around until we find that number. It's a stamped number. Oh, there we go. And what do you know? They put 00 on there. Ha, isn't that funny? So the production number is 00, probably for GoldenEye 007. So 00 on the back of this one. Let's go to this one and take a panned look here. Nope, no embossed numbers that I can make out at all. Nothing. Okay? That's the first giveaway. So we got color on the front, color on the back, and then more in detail the stamp. We're looking for that stamp. What's the next thing we can look for? Say you didn't know anything about the color, you just assumed that was right. At least you can have this information to go with you forward on finding a real copy. Okay, let's take a close look here. Nintendo. Nintendo with the trademark trademark stamp thingy. Okay? I want you to pay really close attention to this eye. See how it's a square? Nintendo does that with all of their games, even their consoles. Check this out. Look at the Game Boy Advance. Top of it, square dot, right? They do that with their whole logo. That's how their logo is made. Now let's go to the reproduction, alright? Let's move over here to the reproduction. Let's look closer at this Nintendo. What do you see there? A dot. Nintendo. Well, it says Nintendo, so it's got to be real, right? The one key thing that makes it not authentic is they changed the eye in the dot on the eye. The reproduction has a circular dot versus the real one has a square dot. So that's a real Nintendo logo. And then you can also notice on this one, it's very smooth. Very, very flat. very smooth, versus the original Nintendo one has more of an embossed, like it pops at you kind of look. See? Okay, so that's definitely on the outside. We can see that the differences are very obvious if you pay close enough attention. The very last thing I want to point out, the very last thing, if you, for some weird reason, you have no idea because you can't see the eye, because there's no pictures on it, the back, it's hard to tell because their lighting's so perfect on it that you're like, I'm not really sure if it's the real one or not because the lighting's so perfect, it makes it look darker. Okay, it's hard to tell. So online when you're looking. Okay, and then of course the front, they have a really good high resolution picture on it, and you're like, I can't really compare the color. It could be the phone they were using. Who knows? All right, the next very last thing you can obviously tell is one key thing. See if you can notice if you look at it. Real copy, reproduction. The T. Yes. If you said it to yourself, the T on teen. Take a close look at this one. This is the original. It's a white T. ESRB 13 plus. On this one here, it's a black one. Now, to my recollection, they didn't start doing that until later on down the road, putting this more recent T that you see on games nowadays, like on Xbox and stuff like that. This is the original one. 1 second, jump cut right here. So I'm actually gonna, while I do a jump cut, I'm gonna let you guys check out the prices of what this would cost you, you know, for an actual original version with the box and everything, versus buying this reproduction one. And so you're spending some money, but you don't want to be spending a lot of money on this one. Oh, give me a sec. Alright, we're back. I just want to show you, I grabbed another game off my shelf that has a T logo, and this is Body Harvest on N64. And you can see right there it has the white T. Now, from what I understand, I don't know a whole lot on the history of the ESRB logos, but it was later on down the road, I'd say probably around Perfect Dark or something like that, they started switching to the solid colored ones, right? I don't think GoldenEye ever made it into that realm. They never made it into the solid black T on their logo. So what that tells me is that when they made this logo, they probably just filled it in and copied it from something else. I could be wrong. I could be absolutely wrong. I'd have to do more research, but that's another giveaway to me, is the T as well. But aside from all the other details you can see on there, you can see there's a lot of differences between the two. Now, let's open it up. Alright, so this is going to be a jump cut as well, so bear with me for a minute while I go ahead and take care of this opening. Okay, we're back. Okay, so this is the original here, and this is the reproduction here. Okay, because these are so big, I'm going to try and fit these together like this. Okay, so you can see right here with the reproduction, it does have the metal casing on here. They put the metal casing on there so you can actually get to the cartridge itself. Leave that on there, and you can see right here, this is the original, or the fake. So you notice the blue strip, they did that with the Game Boy Advance game as well, and it has like Altera Max, some other microchip on here, blah blah blah, all this other stuff. Let's flip it around and check out the back side. It's got a big circle on the back for something, I don't know what that is. But one thing I did notice on this one is they didn't go to the extent of trying to print Nintendo on here at all. Like, they didn't even bother. They put this up here, N64 Multi V2. They didn't put, you know, a copyright Nintendo with a year on it like they normally do. Okay, so that's definitely As you can see, this is definitely a reproduction. Oops. This one. Alright, I'm going to put this back in the casing. These are kind of a pain in the butt to put back in, but so bear with me. I'm going to jump cut real quick. Alright, thank you. So back, had to do a jump cut. These things are a little bit of a pain to put back in, but here's the original. Okay, so we have the reproduction here I set to the side, and this is the original. So let's go ahead and pop this open. Alright, and as you can see, really big differences right off the bat. Has the 1996 Nintendo at the top here. Has a jumper here. The other one didn't even have anything like that. And you can see the circuits on here are raised. They're definitely older capacitors and stuff like that. XR, you know, different brands on here. This one says Nintendo on it right here. 1998 and 98, or it's hard to read. 95 Nintendo. So it has like different chips on here. Let's see if I can pull it out. We'll take a look at the back real quick. The back looks a lot different too, as you can see. It has more of the light green color compared to that dark green one the other one had. So this is definitely authentic. You can see right here, it's a lot different on the circuitry compared to this one. Here's the reproduction, you can see, and then here's the original. Big differences. Okay, put that back up on there like that. Okay, I'm gonna set this back inside. There we go. I'm gonna put this cover back on. I'm gonna jump cut it for y'all, and then we're gonna test them out and see the difference. Okay, we're back. Alright, so here we have the original reproduction. So I'm going to try both of these out on the TV. Okay, so I'm going to pan over here for y'all. I'm going to take both of these over here. As you can see right here, here's the TV. There's Obi. Turn off this light here. See if I can pan it up for y'all to see better. I'll just have to hold it. It's fine. Alright. So here's the original reproduction. Let's do the original first. Pop this in there. Turn it on. Boots up instantly. Okay. I love this game. So cool. Alright. There's the original copy. Now let's go boot up our reproduction copy. Should work just fine, right? Let's see. Oh boy. I must have done something wrong. Oh, yes. Bear with me. Alright, we're back. On the back, the clips back here on this one, the reproduction, the plastic's a lot more newer, so it doesn't snap in easily. So I guess I didn't realize I didn't snap it in all the way. So, there we go. Let's pop it back in there. Crank it on. And it boots up just fine. See if it sounds the same, looks the same. Go. So you'd almost not even be able to tell the difference, honestly, if you were playing the game. It looks identical on gameplay. So back to our original story with this. Obviously, if you want to just get the game and play it, you can buy the reproduction version probably for dirt cheap, I'd guess. But if you want the original to keep with you forever, obviously, and have it with a collection type of thing, then you don't want to be paying the premium price, or you want to be able to know you're getting what you're paying for, is what I'm saying. But you don't want to pay an expensive price for a fake. So those are the things you need to look for when you're buying, because nowadays these things are being popped out like crazy. They're just being created over and over because people are buying them, a lot of them, and they're not realizing that they're not buying the original stuff if you're a collector. So it's key importance to remember the authenticity of the original compared to a fake. So that's all I have for you today. That's the end of my video. 38 minutes long. But hey, it's a fun video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Please like, subscribe, comment, and let me know what you guys think. And until next time, say bye, Obi. 5 stars. We'll poop here again. Y'all have a safe and fantastic day.